Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been in a conversation, sharing a moment when suddenly you felt like you were being watched? Not in a bad way, but in a way that made you feel noticed, seen, like every little detail about you was being observed. Well, let me tell you something. He's watching you more than you think. We often assume that guys don't pay attention to the subtle details. We think they're just surface level observers, noticing only the obvious things, like how we look or what we say. But the truth is, men are constantly reading between the lines. They're picking up on the nuances, even when they don't say anything. Here's what you need to know about how much he's really watching you. First, he notices how you treat others. You might think that your interactions with him are the only ones that matter, but he's observing how you engage with the world around you. The kindness you show to strangers, how you talk to your friends, even how you handle stress. These things tell him about your character. A smile you give to a waiter or the way you handle a difficult situation speaks volumes about the kind of person you are. Secondly, he's tuned into your confidence or lack of it. Confidence is incredibly attractive, but it's not always about being loud or bold. It's in the small things, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak about your dreams and goals, how you handle compliments. Men can sense your self-worth and it shapes the way they feel about you. Insecurity and self-doubt are easily spotted, even if you try to hide them. Third, he's paying attention to how you make him feel. The thin a man is around you, he isn't just focused on how you treat him directly, he's also watching how you interact with everyone else around you. He notices the way you speak to people, whether it's a stranger, a friend, or even a service worker. How you handle those moments says more about who you are than you might realize. Imagine you're out at a restaurant on a date. He's not just watching how you talk to him, he's observing how you treat the waiter. Are you polite? Are you patient? If things don't go perfectly, if your order is wrong or the service is slow, how do you react? A man sees these interactions as a reflection of your character. Are you kind when things don't go your way, or do you get frustrated and rude? He takes mental notes of these details because how you treat others gives him insight into how you'll handle different situations in life and possibly how you'll treat him in the future. This goes beyond just your attitude towards strangers. He also watches how you engage with your friends and family. Are you supportive? Do you listen with empathy when someone is going through a tough time? Men notice if you're someone who genuinely cares about the people around you or if you're only focused on yourself. These moments show your depth and how you value relationships, which are incredibly important to a man who's looking for a meaningful connection. The way you treat others is a window into your values. If you show respect to people regardless of their role or status, it demonstrates that you have a grounded sense of compassion and understanding. On the other hand, if you only show kindness when you think it will benefit you or when you're in the spotlight, he'll pick up on that too. Men appreciate women who treat everyone with respect and grace because it speaks to consistency in your character. How you treat others when no one is watching can be the difference between being seen as someone with real integrity or someone who only acts with self-interest. Men also notice how you handle conflict with others. If you have a disagreement or if someone rubs you the wrong way, do you handle it with maturity and calmness, or do you let emotions take over and become confrontational? Your ability to manage tension and show respect, even in challenging situations, says a lot about your emotional intelligence, which is a quality men deeply admire. In essence, every interaction you have with others is like a subtle cue that he's picking up on. Whether you realize it or not, he's watching how you move through the world and how you make others feel. It's not just about impressing him with grand gestures, it's about consistently showing kindness, empathy, and respect to everyone around you. When he sees that you treat others well, regardless of the situation or the stakes, it signals to him that you're someone who is grounded in values that he can trust and admire. Confidence is one of those qualities that speaks without having to be announced. It's not just about being the loudest person in the room or being the one with the boldest moves. Confidence is much quieter than that, and a man pays close attention to those subtle moments where it truly shows. It's in the way you carry yourself. When you walk into a room, he notices if you stand tall, if you maintain eye contact, or if you seem comfortable in your own skin. Confidence doesn't require you to be the center of attention. It can be felt in your presence, even when you're silent or simply observing your surroundings. He watches how you interact with the world around you, and it's in these moments that your self-assurance becomes clear. Are you comfortable in your own space, or do you shrink when you're faced with unfamiliar situations? A man is drawn to the way you hold yourself because it tells him whether you're secure in who you are. It's also in how you speak about yourself and your life. Confidence is reflected in your words and how you talk about your dreams, your goals, and your achievement. When a man hears you speak with passion and clarity about what you want in life, it shows him that you're someone who knows your own worth. You don't need to brag or boast. It's simply in the way you express yourself with conviction. On the other hand, if you downplay your successes or hesitate to share your ideas, it can signal a lack of confidence, even if you don't realize it. He's listening for those moments when you believe in yourself, because if you do, he'll naturally be inclined to believe in you too. Men also notice how you handle compliments. When he gives you a compliment, are you able to accept it with grace, or do you immediately deflect it? Confident women don't feel the need to downplay their strengths or brush off praise. They can acknowledge it and say thank you without feeling uncomfortable. This subtle act of accepting a compliment shows that you recognize your own value and you don't need external validation to feel good about yourself. But when you constantly deny or dismiss compliments, it can give the impression that you don't see your own worth, and that's something a man will pick up on. Another thing men observe is how you react in social situations. Confidence doesn't always mean being the life of the party, but it does show in how comfortable you are being yourself, whether in a group or one-on-one. Do you feel the need to prove yourself, or can you simply enjoy the moment without trying too hard? A man notices when you can be at ease in your own company and when you don't feel the need to fill every silence or impress everyone around you. It's those quiet moments when you seem content with who you are that leave a lasting impression. A woman who is comfortable in her own skin exudes a calm confidence that's incredibly attractive. Men also notice your ability to set boundaries and say no when necessary. Confidence is often reflected in how well you protect your time, your energy, and your values. When you're able to say no without feeling guilty, or when you can stand by your decisions with certainty, it shows that you trust yourself. A man respects a woman who knows where her limits are and doesn't feel the need to please everyone all the time. This type of quiet confidence demonstrates a strong sense of self-respect, which is something men are naturally drawn to. So while loud and bold behavior might catch someone's attention initially, true confidence is something much deeper. It's in the way you move, the way you speak, and the way you interact with others. It's about having a strong sense of who you are and being comfortable with that, whether or not anyone else is watching. And trust me, he's noticing those moments more than you think. Confidence in its most authentic form is subtle but powerful. feel, and it's something that doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops because it speaks for itself in everything you do. The way you make a man feel when he is around you is something he never forgets. People often say that feelings are more memorable than words or actions, and this is especially true when it comes to relationships. A man may not always remember the exact things you said or did, but he will always remember how you made him feel in your presence. That emotional impact stays with him and shapes how he views you and the connection you share. When you're with him, it's not just about the grand gestures or the obvious things that stand out. It's the small moments that truly matter. The way you smile at him when he says something funny, or the warmth in your eyes when you're listening to him speak, makes him feel important. When you show genuine interest in what he's saying, it makes him feel heard and understood. This simple act of paying attention to his words, of being fully present in the conversation, makes him feel valued. Men appreciate when they feel like they are being listened to because it gives them a sense of connection and trust. Beyond listening to him, it's also about how you respond to him emotionally. When he's feeling down or stressed, how do you react? Do you offer support and encouragement, or do you brush it off as something minor? A man remembers the way you comfort him during tough times. If you are someone who makes him feel stronger and more capable when he's going through a difficult situation, he will naturally gravitate towards you because you give him a sense of security. On the other hand, if he feels dismissed or unsupported, it can create emotional distance. Men value emotional support just as much as women do, and knowing that you're there for him during both the good and the bad moments makes a lasting impact. Another important thing to consider is how you make him feel about himself. When he's around you, does he feel like he's at his best, or does he feel criticized and judged? Men are drawn to women who make them feel capable, confident, and appreciated. If you highlight his strengths and support his ambitions, he will remember how you made him feel like he could take on the world. But if he constantly feels like he's being put down or compared to others, it can chip away at his self-esteem. A man wants to be around someone who uplifts him, who makes him feel proud of who he is and where he's going. When he feels good about himself in your presence, it strengthens the bond between you two. Equally important is how you handle conflict with him. Disagreements and misunderstandings are natural in any relationship, but the way you handle those moments can leave a deep impression on him. If during an argument you remain respectful and seek understanding rather than trying to win or prove a point, it makes him feel valued and respected, even in times of tension. Men notice when a woman can argue fairly and with compassion because it shows emotional maturity. This doesn't mean you have to avoid conflict, but rather approach it in a way that shows you care about the relationship more than just being right. When he feels like you are working with him instead of against him during tough conversations, he'll remember that you are someone who brings peace and resolution even in challenging moments. Additionally, men remember the joy and fun they share with you. If you create an atmosphere of lightness where he can relax and be himself without fear of judgment, he will treasure those moments with you. Men love to feel like they can laugh and have a good time with the person they're with because it creates a space where they can let go of the pressures of everyday life. If you bring laughter, joy, and playfulness into the relationship, it leaves a mark on his heart. He'll associate you with happiness openness and a sense of freedom which will make him want to be around you more. How you make a man feel also comes down to the level of trust and emotional safety you offer. If he feels like he can open up to you about his fears, his dreams, or his insecurities without feeling like he's being judged or dismissed, it deepens the emotional connection. Men don't often reveal their vulnerable sides easily, so when they do, and you create a safe space for him to express himself, it leaves a lasting impression. He'll remember that you are someone who understands him at a deeper level, and that trust will strengthen the bond you share. Ultimately, it's not about trying to impress him with actions or words. It's about creating an emotional environment where he feels valued, respected, supported, and appreciated. These feelings leave a lasting imprint on him, far beyond the moment. The way you make him feel when he's with you will determine whether he sees you as someone he wants to build a future with or someone who was just a fleeting part of his life. So focus on creating those meaningful emotional moments because they are what truly shape how he feels about you in the long run. When it comes to relationships and interactions, reactions to small moments can reveal more about who we are than we often realize. Men are particularly observant of how women respond in those little situations because it gives them insight into key traits like adaptability, kindness, and emotional intelligence. It's not just the big events or dramatic situations that matter, but the everyday reactions that truly define a person's character. For instance, imagine a moment when plans unexpectedly change. Maybe you had a dinner reservation, but something came up and it has to be cancelled last minute. A man notices how you handle that situation. Are you flexible and understanding, or do you get upset and frustrated? Adaptability is an important quality because life is unpredictable, and a man wants to know that you can roll with the punches without letting minor inconveniences derail your mood. If you're able to stay calm and go with the flow, it shows him that you're someone who can handle the ups and downs of life with grace. This kind of adaptability makes a lasting impression because it reassures him that you can face challenges together without unnecessary drama. Kindness is another trait that shines through in small everyday moments. It's not about grand gestures, but about how you treat people when there's nothing to gain. For example, if you're out together and you see someone struggling, like an elderly person trying to cross the street or someone who needs help with a door, a man notices whether you take the time to offer a hand. These small acts of kindness show a lot about your character. They demonstrate empathy and a genuine concern for others. When a man sees that you naturally extend kindness to those around you, even when it's not expected or required, it leaves a powerful impression on him. He'll see that you're someone who cares about the world and the people in it, which is a trait he'll value deeply. Men also pay attention to how you react when things don't go perfectly. Life is full of small frustrations, whether it's dealing with slow traffic, an unexpected spill, or something not going according to plan. How you handle these minor setbacks says a lot about your emotional resilience. Do you laugh it off and keep moving forward, or do you let it ruin your mood? A man who is considering a deeper relationship is looking for someone who can maintain perspective in these moments. If you can stay light-hearted and not let the little things get to you, it shows that you have emotional strength and the ability to keep the bigger picture in mind. He'll see you as someone who can navigate life's imperfections with a positive outlook, which is incredibly attractive. Your reactions in social situations also offer clues to your adaptability and kindness. For example, if you're at a gathering and you meet someone new, how do you engage with them? Are you open and friendly, making an effort to include them in the conversation, or are you reserved and distant? Men notice how you interact with others in these small moments because it reflects your social awareness and kindness. If you make people feel welcome and comfortable in your presence, it shows that you're someone who values connection and harmony. A man is drawn to that sense of openness because it creates a warm environment not only for him but for those around him as well. Even in moments of conflict or disagreement, your reactions are telling. Let's say a minor misunderstanding occurs, maybe you and he see something differently. How you approach that moment reveals whether you're quick to anger or whether you're willing to listen and find common ground. Men respect women who can approach disagreements with patience and understanding rather than jumping to conclusions or reacting impulsively. If you show that you can handle conflict calmly and seek resolution rather than escalating the situation, it demonstrates emotional maturity and adaptability. These small moments of conflict handling reveal whether you can weather the inevitable challenges that come with any relationship. Another small but significant moment men pay attention to is how you react to others' successes or happiness. If a friend or someone close to you shares good news, do you celebrate with them wholeheartedly, or do you seem indifferent or even jealous? Your ability to be genuinely happy for others is a reflection of your inner confidence and kindness. A man notices when you can share in the joy of those around you because it shows that you are secure in yourself and capable of uplifting others. This quality of being supportive in small celebrations moments is something men find very attractive because it indicates that you'll be a positive force in their lives. Ultimately, it's these small everyday moments that build a picture of who you are. Your reactions in these situations reveal your adaptability, your kindness, and your ability to maintain emotional balance. These traits are incredibly important to men because they show him whether you can handle life's challenges and joys with grace. While the big moments in life are important, it's how you respond in the small moments that truly define your character and leave a lasting impression on him. These subtle but significant reactions tell him whether you are someone he can trust, rely on, and build a future with. Self-respect is one of the most important qualities you can have in any relationship because it not only defines how you view yourself, but also sets the tone for how others treat you, especially in romantic relationships. When it comes to men, the way you value and respect yourself has a direct impact on how they perceive you and how they choose to engage with you. Men are incredibly intuitive when it comes to sensing a woman's self-worth, and they respond accordingly. If you don't hold yourself in high regard, it sends a message that you will tolerate being treated in ways that don't honor or uplift you.